Hey, welcome everyone. This is our new edition of the Three Amigos, Dash Force News podcast, or rather, as it should be known right now, the two live amigos and the one amigo stuck in Windows Update purgatory. So say hi, Brian, the one remaining living amigo.
Hi, Brian.
There we go. There we go. Yes. So it's been a crazy 45 minutes trying to get this thing to work. We're definitely going to give Mark some trouble for messing it up before that when he comes in. But anyway, it's been an exciting week for how was last week's episode? I didn't even get to be on there because I was traveling at the time.
Yeah, it was good. The after party was really good. The after party went on for like 3 hours almost. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, what was the highlight of it for you?
I don't even remember. It's too long ago.
Yeah, a whole week. Oh, it's ancient history. Well, it's funny because a week can be like a long time in the cryptoverse, especially with Dash, with everything going on. I just uh I just remember I can't keep track of all these exchanges that keep adding Dash. It seems like there's a whole lot in Asia right at the moment. Um, for example, you had Binance, that was the big one. You had Huobi, a bunch out of China, right? It's just been going all over the place, and it's interesting because traditionally Dash has not been the most hyped kind of it's not been the good gambling coin.
Yeah, I was checking this Hula Bee. It's still pretty far down. Number 13. That's Dash USD Tether, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes.
Not as popular yet, but I guess looks like the what do you call it? The airdrop. I guess that's going to pass, so maybe that'll help get some more volume going there. Yeah, 28. They're 28 Dash Bitcoin volume, and then 13 with the Tether, which that's interesting. Um,
Yeah, what do you make of the whole tether thing? It's a little bit of a. At first, I didn't get what was the point of tethers, and then someone explained it was a way easier way to trade instead of having to actually move dollars. And I thought, oh, this is could be an innovative technology. And then
yeah,
now it seems scammy.
yeah, I did see something about some scammy. I guess it gets around all the AML KYC laws. That way, you can supposedly hold and tether and not have to worry about uh, you know going past any of that. I guess you can withdraw. I don't know a whole lot about the tether, but I did read a headline about what is it? What is the scam part of it? What are they saying? It's like Bitfinex, right?
um, yes, basically, it's related to how how many have been printed, right? So they're supposed to be backed by US dollars and not just, oh, we say that they're tied to US dollars and not quite like that. Um they're supposed to be backed with actual US dollars in bank accounts.
Hmm.
And the rumor is that they're not, that they're printing more than actually should exist. That they just, print stuff without backing, kind of what very similar to what happened with the fiat currency like the US dollar that was originally backed by gold or silver. And then over time, well, there's not all backed by it, or you just take our word that there's gold behind it. And then, well, only some of it. And then now it's just nothing. So at some point, tethers might just be nothings.
Hmm.
So that's always a
Interesting.
big, isn't it funny how like a it's a fiat currency backed fiat currency with the same problems, except it's double now. It's just like sort of like when you have there's some foreign currencies around the world that are backed by US dollars. So the US dollars are only worth that because the government says they're worth that. And another government says, well, ours are worth whatever that government says theirs are worth. And it's like eventually this is bound for a collapse of sorts.
Yeah, BitShares had they have like USD, Bit USD, Bit China, and Bit Gold. At one time, they were going to add the Dash, and they may have. I haven't checked them in a long time. That's well, they were really ahead of their time. I don't really know what happened to them. I guess their dev kind of split or something, and Daniel Larimer, and then he was doing other projects. I think he had something called Note. He was gonna, and it just killed the community. They're really heavy in they heavily rely on the Chinese market. That's probably another thing that hurt them. But they had a in-wallet exchange. I used it. It was pretty cool. And then they had the usernames, kind of like what we're doing. But there, it wasn't their platform wasn't very user friendly. And then they were doing the delegated proof of stake. They were doing some very really cool stuff, but it never really caught on for some reason.
Yes. Well, our dear departed friend Mark Mason, dead in Windows Purgatory, is asking questions in the live chat, saying, "Yo, Joel, tell us about your trip to the House of Nakamoto." Blimey. No, he didn't say that last bit, but yeah. So it was very intriguing. So first off, Vienna's a great city. It's nice, big, old, classy, whatever. Extremely touristy down the main avenues, and so right in the most traffic. Think of it like Times Square, kind of New York City. Like
Mm.
right off to the side, there's this Bitcoin store, the House Nakamoto. So there's a lot of foot traffic. Like I thought it would be just somewhere kind of in the good downtown area, kind of somewhere nice, but no, it's like right in the middle of things where I'm sure possibly millions of people every day go by. At least you can just look down the side street and see it. It was pretty cool because first off, the store, um, it's a really cool, slick design. It has like the high ceilings, a bunch of art and stuff, and like old like Japanese style banners with like the Bitcoin banners and stuff. And on half of it, on the one half of it was just Bitcoin dedicated, but the other half was Dash. And it's interesting to see that they decided to their whole branding is just equal Bitcoin and Dash. And then on one
Mhm.
side there's the Bitcoin ATM, on the other side there's the Dash ATM, and you have people walking in, going and leaving all the time using both. And so it was really interesting to see. It was fun to go in and to see the presentation. It was like 40 or so people. The place was packed. And then Esra or Jan gave a very professional, nice, interesting presentation. He's very polished, not a lot of like, okay, so well, not a lot of anything, any of that stuff. Just
Mhm.
very knowledgeable, very professional, very polished, and it really seemed to be. It seemed it's good. I think it's going to be a great tool for getting everyone else in. That's the thing that I think that the one big advantage that Bitcoin's always had is because it was first. Everyone's so excited about, hey, if you heard about Bitcoin, let's get people on Bitcoin.
What do they
It's
sell
sort
there?
of yeah. It's well, now that's the thing. It's well, they have a lot of random merchandise, right? Like the big thing they sell is cryptos, right? Because they have ATMs for both, and then they have these little Bitcoin voucher cards you can like redeem online and stuff. And each denomination has a different Austrian economist on it,
Cool.
and so mostly it's crypto. Then they have some swag, some T-shirts, and other things. I think mostly what it is a noob launching pad, right? Where do you go to um, learn more about cryptocurrency? And I know that they have like a back room in there that I've heard them doing some like consulting with some people. So I think they might do paid consulting as well. But it's
Mm.
yeah, it's a very just like a crypto hotspot.
Yeah, Bitcoin has that, like in New York. I forget the name of it. It's a really fancy place, but yeah, just to onboard people and I guess give presentations and sell some swag. I think they sell actual. They had some kind of like auction and they sell Bitcoin. I forget. I seen it in one of the Bitcoin documentaries.
Yeah, it's interesting spot. Um, I don't know how they make their money. That's just one of my thoughts always when you see some fancy place is like, wow, how do they rake it in? Maybe they just have. I didn't see such insane foot traffic that they can afford to have employees and and what's got to be insane rent, like to just get from buying crypto and whatever the fees are on that. It can't be enough. So I'm thinking that either it's a subsidized operation or probably they do a lot of like paid consulting. Yeah, that's the amount of people I know who do like consulting work for cryptocurrency is pretty insane. And to be honest, you don't need to be that knowledgeable. It seems like there's people with less knowledge than me that I've seen that's what they do for a living. They're like professional consultants, and they make like I don't know, they make like a grand in a day just talking to people about like what is a wallet and stuff. Like at some there's that whole new generation of people that just have no idea where to start that just want to get involved with this stuff. And us, I mean, we have much more value as long as we were as long as we're able to effectively communicate and answer questions for the newer folks. Just the kind of knowledge we have as seasoned crypto users, you can't teach that, right? I mean, no offense to Andreas Antonopoulos' Mastering Bitcoin book, but you can't easily teach that.
Yeah, you were also there for what, the European Students for Liberty conference, right? That's what you were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was another interesting thing because that was the first sort of conference appearance that people asked me to do, and I didn't know, if this was going to be a thing, if I was going to be able to keep doing these kinds of things. So I just thought, hey, what the heck, might as well turn it into a vacation and just happen to be there to speak, right? That was pretty interesting. First, I kind of it's almost like in the liberty movement, especially the young liberty movement. There's just so much. It's basically crypto dominates. In the old world, you have people talking about stuff like, oh, how are we going to reduce taxes? Oh, some more economic stuff, policy papers, go to testify before legislators, all this kind of stuff. And then it seems like the young people, after learning about the ideas, the only thing that really matters is crypto because there's not a lot of ideas of empowerment of how you can you change the world by using the old systems. And I think it's pretty obvious that what Dash can do is empower people to actually build a life, build an economy, build a structure
Mm.
with and be able to change the world for the better without having to kind of go through all these old systems that will make it really hard for them to make a difference. So basically, everyone knew about Bitcoin or crypto, and almost everyone had used something like that. And a couple people heard about Dash, but it wasn't very commonly known. And a lot of people had kind of detailed questions, but also unlike the crypto world where most everyone's like, oh yeah, I know this, I know about all these coins, and then they have a lot of people just don't even just they have that surface level knowledge. A lot of people, for example, don't know that a Bitcoin transaction's like $10 now.
Wow.
Like they're like, well, like really? Oh, I didn't know. Like they didn't the whole fee thing. They might have heard something about the scaling debate, but they don't really understand it. They don't understand. They just think that, oh yeah, we can keep getting spikes at Bitcoin for coffee. It's not that they're unrealistic about it. They just don't know any better. And it's like, oh, so Dash is a thing that's like Bitcoin, but it's like better. Oh, there we go.
Somebody.
Back from purgatory. How's it going?
Hey, oh, one sec.
Yeah, I'm looking at this House of Nakamoto thing. It's a fancy place. I wonder how do
Yeah.
they pay overhead? Is it just from all the merchandise sales, or?
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure it's got to be a lot of consulting fees or something.
Yeah, yeah. That the Bitcoin one is huge too. I forget what it's in New York. There, it's maybe somebody in the chat can say. But yeah, I just don't see how they pay for it. So I don't. This is a fancy looking place. It's a beautiful Dash banner. They're a big giant Dash banner, whole display. Looks like they got some grab bags.
Yeah, and they had some little some like battery packs, like charging things for smartphones with the Dash branding. Got some of those. Yeah, so Yan Esra was very. I think throw money at him to go and talk everywhere else. He's doing a good job.
What's the population there? Do you know?
Vienna, it's a couple
Millions.
million or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, it's definitely not like New York City style, but it's, for example, bigger than the Boston Metro. It's a
Mm.
major. Yeah, it's a nice. Here's the thing I didn't realize: it's crypto laws are very permissive compared to, for example, neighboring Germany, right? Uh, so, for example, you can go. This is sort of mind blowing about the post office, right? You can go into the post office in Austria and buy Dash vouchers with cash. You go into a government building, buy from the government post office Dash vouchers, and with cash, no ID, and as far as I know, no limit. So,
Oh.
so which I'd like to sort of test the limits of that. Just go in with like 10 grand in euros and just be like, I want some Dash, and just give me all your vouchers, government employee,
I know
and then just
they talked about doing that here in the U.S. The U.S. Postal Service had actually talked about selling cryptos to make up for their shortfalls because the post office is so in debt and they're a mess. It literally took them. We've been missing our mailbox for almost over. I think it's over a month. It had the base had rusted out and it fell over, and it took them over a month just to replace. It's like a community mailbox with a bunch of
mm,
things. So yeah, they're not that efficient. So
yeah, they're horrific.
yeah.
But
So did you?
I guess
So did you
it
pick
is
up any
good.
souvenirs?
Um, yeah, I mean they're mostly digested by now, but one thing's I mean, as completely not related to crypto, it's crazy just how everyone thinks of like the freedom index. Some people think of it in absolute terms, but it's very uneven.
Mm.
Like in terms of, for example, alcohol laws is completely different from the United States, where in the United States you need to present an identification to buy consume alcohol unless you look old, and then you have to have it. Usually, you can't sell it before noon or some time like that. You have to have it in the building, and it's always costs a lot more than normal beverages. And then in Austria, just as soon as I walk, just people walking in and out of the house, Nakamoto, like onto the streets with beers and stuff. I'm just like, whoa, where'd this come from? And then
Mm.
you get up in the morning, go to the quaint little coffee shop, and then they quaint little cafe, and then they offer to put rum in your coffee and stuff. And just like I could kind of get used to this.
Mm. Hey, one thing I wanted to mention about the Dash wallet. And Chuck had talked about it, but you can go in there, and if you're on a 4K display, I know it used to show real small. It was hard to see what was going on, but you can go into the new 12.2. It might have been like this on the old wallet. I just never explored it, but you can go into the 12.2 wallet and go into the display feature and select the Dash wallet traditional, and it will make the font size on everything readable. So I don't know if Chuck knew about that. I don't know if other people figured that out. But yes, for everybody with 4K displays, or if the Dash wallet's displaying too small, go in there, flip that switch, and you're all set.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to know you can get a better view on that.
Yeah. They may not need to do a fix. I don't know. It does kind of skew a little bit of stuff, make some stuff a little too big, but for the most part, it's an excellent fix.
Yeah. So Anya says, do they always have the 50/50 Dash in Bitcoin, or was that just for a special promotion? I tell you, they better always have that. Otherwise, what did the network pay for, right? I'm pretty sure it's going to be always up there like that.
What all did we pay
Especially once,
for? What was that all about, and how much was it? Remember? Let me look.
yeah, I'm not sure if the entire thing was just to build out the display. I think it was also to obviously have the ATM stock that, maybe train employees, probably to set up the event too, including refreshments. Although I don't know, we'll have to look into the proposal for that. But it's a good job.
Hey, I've got an update
Yes.
about the Gap proposal.
Oh,
Word on the
okay.
street was that the show was meant to start this week. I heard that somewhere, but I
Oh,
have an update, and it's not going to happen this week,
Mm.
unfortunately. But I do have good news. So the good news is it's still happening, but the date has been
Mhm.
pushed back until the 26th. The reason being is that RT wants to do some advertising and campaigns before, like trailer adverts to get people aware, raise awareness of the show. I've seen a 30-second promo clip of the show. They sent it to me on a Vimeo. I had to type in a password, so I can't share it with anyone else because that was just like a rough draft. But it looks amazing. The music, and the great thing is, in every single clip on that 30-second trailer, they're wearing Dash t-shirts, and you can see the bars. So Dash is everywhere. It's just subtly, just in every single shot. I'm really excited about it. So I do have one favor to ask to the community. I don't watch a lot of TV. If you're a fan of the show and you do watch RT, can you please keep an eye out on RT adverts to see when it goes live, and notify me when this stuff goes out, because that would be fantastic. But yeah,
That'd be the
so
balls.
that should start really happening from this week forward in terms of the campaign promotion. So as soon as that starts coming out, then we can start tweeting and getting on the hype train.
Yes, I think it's going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, I found the proposal, House of Nakamoto. I think it's like 16 grand, but they have the Bitcoin ATM, like you talked about, the merchandise, hardware wallets for sale. They've got 8 employees, 100 visitors on average per day. 100 visitors on average per day. Wow.
That makes sense from what I've seen.
Yeah, that's bigger than I thought. The ATM sales volume is 500,000 euros per month. I don't know. Mark knows what that is. I think it's close to 500 grand
Yeah,
in US.
it's very similar.
And then
That's
they're
a lot of
expanding to 30 stores. Yeah, but they said that banner is going to be placed there. The Dash will be placed there in the first Bitcoin store of the world. The roll-up showcase in the window.
Well, break it down for me. I don't actually know much about it. Like, Joel, where it's located, does it get much foot traffic? Is it in like a key location, or is it just like really random?
Yes. It's right on basically the busiest street in the whole city. Like right off it. Basically think yeah, think what was I going to say? Times Square, New York City. It's like basically visible from that. Just tons of tourists pouring by every single hour of the day.
So
So
it's
yeah, it's
constant
gonna
foot
be
traffic, human
yeah, it's
traffic.
like you're just walking by everything, and then if you just look off to the side, it says Bitcoin store, and you're like, oh, what's this?
So
So
it's an
yeah, it's
information
very
hub for cryptocurrency, but you can also buy swag and stuff in there as well.
yeah, and get the
ATMs,
cryptos
LAN.
themselves. Some people come in, just don't make eye contact with anyone and just peruse the machine.
Silk
Typical
Road.
crypto users, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate, mate. I can relate. Hey guys, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you're going to know more about it than I do, and
Oh, you
hopefully in
mean
the
about
chat get involved as well,
how to
because we love
start
public
a video
participation,
podcast?
right? Guys, what is
Yes.
going on with the Dash documentary?
Mm.
Which Dash
Have you
documentary?
seen that proposal, Dash documentary?
Yep. I don't know. I
Yeah,
guess let's see if they weren't
I
passing.
didn't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
None of you seen it.
No,
I've seen it.
I've seen of
It's
it.
157 dash,
It's really weird
66,000.
because all the comments on Dash Central are like really positive. Yet there's like I think there's like something like 200 yes votes, but like 150 no votes. But like
Yeah.
none of the comments are negative. They're all like really positive. So it just seems really weird. I don't know who the guys are. I saw a quick video.
Yeah.
It looks really great, but I've had this conversation with Jeff, and I know we've mentioned on the show before. We've spoke to a couple other external people. I've never spoke to these guys before. However, they're UK based, and I checked out one of their links, and they've done like documentaries and stuff before. But it got me thinking, like, what would be the ideal Dash documentary? Like, what would you want to have in it? You would want to have the most impact possible. You wouldn't want it something to be like too boring, like this was the history, like Evan, how Darkcoin came along, because it's going to be a snore fest. If you want it for mainstream media, you kind of want it to be like someone coming on a journey, because most people watching it aren't going to know about cryptocurrency. So maybe some kind of either celebrity or presenter saying like, what is this cryptocurrency revolution taking the world by storm? What is Dash? Why are people using it? Is it for nefarious reasons or whatever? Let's get to the bottom of it. What is it?
Yes.
How do you use it?
And
then just go on that whole journey.
Cut to Evan and some of the core members just smoking in a room, like with the TV in the background with all that on. Just
now you want Farnsworth, you want Scott and the Jet and all that kind of exciting stuff for sure.
Yeah, maybe it starts with like a slow, like a fade in of like a flyover of the whole like the Atlantic Ocean from the Dash racer with some like soft piano music. And just be like, when I got into Dash, I knew it was onto something that would change the world.
And what's Scott up to now? He's doing a tour. I haven't even checked out that. I know he's got a new pre-proposal. Have y'all looked into that?
I've not read it, but I know he's always got loads of air shows lined up and booked up. That man's a machine. So yeah, I'm sure he's got some stuff in the works. But yeah, I've not got around to watching it. I can't say too much, but I know some people in this live chat he shared a video with today with like a promo trailer. I'm not sure when that's going to go public, but that is pretty awesome. And I think that's for an upcoming show he's doing. I just wish Scott was in the live chat, because then he could tell me what I can say and can't say. But
he was probably in the last live chat today.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure he's got something in the works. What else is going on in the proposals? As the documentary proposal didn't really work out debate-wise pretty well. No one wanted to contribute anything. Just leave me on my own with my funny glasses on.
Yes, which by the way, DJ Crypto says that you need like white athletic tape around the brim, and then I think Jeff says that that he wants to know why you have women's glasses on.
Why do I
did
have
you steal
glasses on? Because my laptop was updating. So if anyone's watching this and you got Windows 10 and you get an update, I've just had a service pack update and it did the whole Mac operating system. Anyone that's ever bought a Mac, you know, the first time you turn it on and it comes on, it's just like, hey, you just bought a Mac, and then it just goes through this whole bloody series of introduction. It does that. So basically, it updated like twice, and it was just like, hey, Windows 10 is these new updates. I'm like, I just want to log back in. Like, leave me alone. Anyway, so I got so frustrated because the percentage thing was going so slow. I just started walking around my room, and yeah, I was trying to find some fancy dress, and I found some glasses that so these aren't actually like real glasses. These are something I wore to a fancy dress thing.
They're
but
huge.
I was just, yeah.
I see you have the Auto Garage polo shirt on. It must be. Do all of us have polos on today?
I think so.
Oh man, we all matched. I did not plan that. It was spontaneous order. The community, the network coming together.
You know, one thing that was cool is this Dash satellites, but I guess there's some kind of issues. It's a cool concept. I don't know exactly what the problem is, but I think there was some kind of a technical issue somehow. I haven't read too much into it, but it seems like a cool concept.
Yeah, I've not read into that, but I mean, that's the ultimate thing, right? You know how back in the day where people were just saying like, oh no, Bitcoin's gonna die. All the paper pushers are just like, oh no, it's rubbish. What if there's a solar flare? What if there's a EMP and it's gonna destroy everything, or internet goes down, it's gonna break? Well, I was always thinking when Dash gets to the Bitcoin money stage, we could just put satellites in the sky and we could have our own network. Like Skynet.
We have at least one that's equipped with an ion cannon. And we call in a strike on the enemy base. Just be like,
and sharks lasers.
Target South Africa.
Protecting our database. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
There's also that proposal that's going to pass for the Dash at Anarchapulco. That'll be pretty cool. This Juan Galt he's done it before. Amanda's been there. I don't know exactly what all they're planning, but that's always a cool event.
Yeah, it should be cool. As far as I know, they don't have a Dash speaker lined up at all. So that would be kind of annoying to have a sponsorship and no one to talk about Dash, in my
Oh, is
opinion.
he not going to do it? I mean, he's done it before, hasn't he? Like he did it before
Yeah, he
Amanda.
did it. Amanda did it. Yeah,
Yeah.
both of them
So
did.
We'll
like,
see.
He did a good job. He was good.
yeah, actually, he used to be. He's given quite a few talks on Dash, but I've not seen him say vote. The only time I really see him present now is on Twitter. I've seen him meant talk about
Yeah.
Bitcoin Cash a few times, but not Dash so much,
Yeah,
which is
he's
Yeah,
kind of
good.
strange because you think with
he
the
hates
Dash price
Bitcoin.
going up, you
It's
think
so weird because he hates Bitcoin Cash, but Dash is kind of like very, very similar. It's weird sometimes. Like once in a while, I had some people on Twitter who would always love my like and retweet my Dash posts with no 2x in there, or whatever else in their Twitter handle, and I was like, really? You're the kind of people that like Dash? All right, I did not expect that.
yeah, I had someone tweet me today, like, well, replied to one of my tweets, and they were just like, the Dash community is really upset that the price is not doing well in comparison to Bitcoin and that stuff. And I was like, dude, are you kidding me? So I put the price from the 1st November to today, the 17th, and it's a 50% increase in 17 days. And you're going to tell me
Yeah,
the Dash community isn't happy. Now, do I think the Dash price should be higher in terms of valuation in comparison to Bitcoin? Yes, absolutely. But it's up 50%, 50 in
Somebody
yeah. I
17
mean,
days. And you're going to tell
I'm
me
so
you're upset
excited.
about that?
I have I have naturally straight hair. I'm just so excited about it. Just went like this. But
somebody
the
posted a
Me
video.
too. That's why I have to keep it close, you know?
So I have to give a shout
That's
out
what I was
from
doing
the
before I came on.
yeah, just you burn it, but you're to the next level excited, just burned all off.
Get that
Somebody
But I have to
crisis
posted
give
adrenal
a
going on, you know?
shout out in the live chat to Rohit. Uh, Met him at the Texas Bitcoin conference. One of our esteemed masternode owners, really nice guy. Yeah, had a great time hanging out with those guys. It's good and good to see him. Now watching the show. Please remember to vote for us next time. And yeah, such a nice tight knit community. It's so great to just bump into friends and fans and investors at random spots, and it's a happy community. And that's the big thing is, why do you need money if it doesn't make you happy, right? Why do you want to be just holding on to all your coins and just hating on people? You want to be happy, right? And the Dash community is all about being happy. So
You want to see
yes,
a happy face? Look at Brian's face right now. He's got a masternode. Do you know how much masternodes get right now? They're getting over $3,000 a month. That's a lot of D's, man.
It's
So
a
they
lot
called it
of
green
days.
candle because it's going up.
No, you were talking about the price, but somebody had posted the video with Trace Mayer, and he was giving a shout out to Dash because we've continuously outperformed Bitcoin. And I know Ryan Taylor did a presentation showing that. I've got a slide somewhere, but yeah. So yeah, he's been kind of salty in the past. I know he owns Dash, and he bragged about having Evan on when the price was like $2 or $3. So maybe he's coming back around again.
well,
Yeah,
if you
man.
have Dash and it goes up, you're not going to be a hater. I mean, maybe even Fluffy Pony will start to love Dash one of these days. It's like, you know what? I
Trace
can just
was,
quit this
yeah, I
this
remember
whole Monero business and just live off my Mastodon earnings.
there was a tweet from Trace about how he loved to short Dash, and that's, I don't know, the price was like really low then. So hopefully
At
he's
what
stopped
stage,
doing
though?
that.
There's going to be a tipping point. You know, it just seemed like a month ago we were just like, oh yeah, well our treasury's got 2 million a month. We got 3 million now. But what stage is it going to be when these people just start turning around just saying, oh my god, like how can we compete with this? You know how powerful we got. What other cryptocurrency can do that right now? We had the Dash Force partner meeting on Tuesday, and I had. It's going to bore these guys because we spoke about this already, but I just want to show these people how powerful Dash is right now because these other cryptocurrencies can't do this.
Yeah, throw
So
it out on the table.
I'm going to throw it down. I've got the cards. I'm putting my cards on the table, right? I'm laying it down. I'm playing it straight. Here's the deal. Listen up. So we've got Cheddar. Other cryptos don't have that funding, that power, that treasury
It's become
power,
more of
that
a
community
money here,
power,
but yeah,
that
suit
Cheddar, that
yourself.
green, that D's. all about the D's. She wants the D's.
Yes.
Everyone wants the D's. So here's the thing, right? The general bytes proposal just gone through, and I spoke about their POS solution before. It's called Cortex Pay. I believe it's something like $599 US. The biggest thing, right, is business adoption right now. So we're competing with all the other cryptocurrencies doing that. So what I would love to see is someone put in a proposal and buy up 100 of those POS solutions, go to not small boutique stores, medium-sized businesses, go out, roll out city by city, and then set up 100 businesses per month, ideally, or even if you did 50, that would be amazeballs. So basically, you go around, you say, hey, I've got a POS solution. Don't worry, it's free. We set it up. We train you how to use it. It's a free setup solution. If you can set up 50 businesses per month, we're funding that directly from the blockchain. That's amazing. Now, there's a problem with this, though, because you would need to trust the right person to do it. You'd have to have a reputation. We're talking Dash street team. You've got to have street smarts. You've got to know what you're talking about, because you've got to be able to do all these Q&A questions and stuff. So I'm going to nominate Amanda and Pete. Why? Because they've got an RV and they love traveling. They love going about. They live for this stuff. They live, breathe it, everything. And they're the biggest Dash fanboys, fangirls as well, right? So they're in the game, because masternodes watching this will remember a long, long time ago. I know Brian's going to remember this. 100 businesses in 100 days. And unfortunately, that proposal flopped and it fell on its face and it didn't come to fruition. So that's why I'm saying, if someone, it can't just be any Joe Blogs off the street that comes up with this proposal in. So any of you small timers thinking about doing it, don't do it, because only someone with a reputation and has credibility in the community will be trusted to do it, because you got to go out and you got to go to businesses and you got to hustle and you got to do it. And where there's been shortcomings before, it's got to be the right person to do it. Can you imagine that? Month by month, city by city, 50 to 100 businesses. You keep doing that, you're setting them up. Amazing.
Yeah, you could probably go to the businesses that already take Bitcoin and the bigger ones, and that should be the easy sell for them, especially with, what are the fees? What's the Bitcoin fees right now? $10 average or something crazy?
Something like that.
Insane.
Well, like 12 or on average or something.
Doesn't it? Not that I'm defending Bitcoin, but it depends on the wallet you use, right? Because you can change the transaction fee you want to do. So you could put in a really, really cheap transaction fee. You might be waiting, not hours, maybe days for it to go through.
Yeah.
So
wait until the second coming of Satoshi.
But, here's the great thing as well. We've got Discover Dash. So if Amanda and Pete did take up that role, for the businesses as well, they get to see the whole cycle of it. So like, okay, we integrate your business, we set you up, we also give you free publicity. If they're on the road doing this, they can do videos and advertise their business as well, let alone go on the Discover Dash website. And when they're rolling out in their van, they can get one of the General Bytes ATM General Bytes solutions in as well, to show them off, to say like, hey, you can have a small ecosystem in your business. So not only people can come and generate extra foot traffic into your business, people can come in, purchase Dash, spend Dash, the whole shabam. Amazing.
Danny was doing something like that. Maybe he could.
Yeah. So you make money from the ATM in your store from people purchasing it, and then you get that money back when they buy your goods and services, and you get extra foot traffic from people coming in to buy Dash. It's a win-win scenario. Why aren't businesses doing this? Let's go out there. Let's get the street team going. Let's do it.
I mean, we have to have a few different teams based on location, right? And like one for each country. Start building out. Do a pilot program. See how well it does. And then, are you going to be submitting a new proposal soon, Mark?
I want Amanda and Pete to do it. 100%.
Yeah, but but did you get their consent? Always got to get consent. It's a very important word these days. I told him what
I would like him to do. No, I don't want to reveal private conversations, but like Amanda and Pete, never been away. They're more passionate about Dash than anyone I know. And I would love for them to be part. I'd love for them to come on this show. Let's talk about it. Let's get involved. Let's make things happen. This is what I'm saying. It's the power of Dash. What other cryptocurrency can do this? Well, who has that treasury funding power that can do that? That's the difference. If we can get on these businesses and get it accepted everywhere, that would be amazing. Look, if you're a small business and you accept Dash, I love you. Thank you so much. But everyone acknowledges for us to get mass adoption, we've got to put ourselves out there, and we need to use every advantage that we've got. Other cryptos can't do that. We need to use, like Bitcoin had their first mover advantage, we've got to use our business advantage within Dash. No one else can do that. The time is now, my friends.
I thought Amanda had quit Dash and sold all of her Dash. That's what I read on Reddit.
Yeah, I heard she was looking for new coin to pump.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Well, Jeff says, I heard Mark is willing to paint himself blue and run around the square. Hopefully with at least
he could look like one of those blue dudes, those blue groups.
In the trucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so Scott Farnsworth wants to get in on this. Do we want to have him on?
Bring him in. That guy's got a great business mind, and I want to know what he's cooking.
I gotta find my links, my desert links. Anyway, carry on in the meantimes.
Yeah, so I just really want to put Dash out there now. There's this whole Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin drama. I know I was a human tornado last week because there's a whole lot of emotion cooking up. Everyone's talking about it, debate. I know Bitcoin's gone back up in the lead and stuff, but the thing is, it's got no utility. I'm so sick and tired of having the store of value, aka hashtag store of drama. It's just like these people are like cultists. You can't argue with them. So now I want to take it out onto the street and just say, like,
that's all they got.
Whatever. You can stay in your home, hold on to it, whatever. We're changing the game.
Yeah, that's all they got is a store of value.
Also, it's a very interesting thing because a lot of people kind of got the people who first got into cryptocurrency when it was just Bitcoin for those reasons. They're kind of not, there's not a lot of those people out there, right? There's a lot of other people that got into an established thing. Oh, Bitcoin's great. And they're just in love with this thing and they don't know what it is or why, or, well, I was having a discussion with someone about Bitcoin scaling problems. And he was very big on, oh, well, this is going to be fine. And he just said, no, but we have to keep censorship resistance. We have to keep censorship resistance. That's why we need as many nodes as possible. And I said, well, realize that no matter how many nodes there are right now, Bitcoin doesn't work. Like there's 100,000 transaction backlog. All someone has to do is just a couple, like one major mining pool just switches their hash power. Or someone just dumps a bunch of transactions. The whole network grinds to the halt. It got censored. It's not censorship resistant, but it's like, going into these kind of like, well, but no more nodes and everyone has to have a Raspberry Pi. Even if no one can use it, it's congested and everyone needs a third-party Lightning network to spend it for anything, even though that's, it's all about the Raspberry Pi. And then they forget, like, why did anyone start off carrying with Bitcoin? There we go. Say something, Mark. Put that up again.
Woo! Just keep preaching it. I loving it. Financial freedom, people, changing the world bit by bit.
Scott chuckle. Hi, Scott. Good to have you here now.
Hey, guys. Hey, great to be here. Yeah. Last time I tried to chime in, I had jets flying overboard and I got drowned out by jet noise, which is kind of cool, but sorry. I probably interrupted your guys' transmission. And
it's a lot better than Mark's excuse, which is Windows 10 sucks.
One quick thing.
What is a Windows? I don't even know what that is anymore. I'm a Mac guy.
One quick thing on the censorship resistance.
Sucks.
The Lightning Network is going to be heavily censored. I mean, the nodes are going to be like the bankster nodes, and they're going to be able to censor, things like medical cannabis and gun sales and anything that they, the government deems that they don't like. They're going to, be able to censor. And you probably will be able to get around this going through different nodes. But if you're wanting to do something like medical cannabis or guns or whatever it is, you're going to pay even a higher fee to use these other nodes that, that route around the censorship. So Lightning Network is really going to be censorship heavy, plus all the other issues that it has.
Yeah, it's going to be what did our own Dr. Darren Tapp, who's on the Dash core team, he's in Hong Kong right now. The whole team is they're having a good time.
Yeah. For
He
those who don't
said
know,
he
Darren is
has
like the
the
mathematician.
yes, he's a great guy, and he owns more Doge pillows than anyone I know. But anyway, he said today in about Lightning Network, he says Dash is using a model that will allow users to make payments and also not affect the liquidity of user funds. For this reason, Dash is competing for a substantially different market segment than any Lightning network. Now, that's a very like fancy way of basically saying using Lightning Network and payment channels, you're all locked. Your funds are locked up in that channel, and so you just kind of like have to keep paying through that channel. Otherwise, you have to take your funds out, right? With Dash, you just have your funds and can just send them to anyone at any time, anywhere. You don't have to do this whole, well, I don't know, I got this much in this channel, that much in that channel. It's going to cost me $10 to move it. Like, yeah, it's basically a nice way of saying this. Why would you do something that silly?
Yeah, eventually you're going to have to settle to the blockchain as well, and you're going to have to pay the fees. And by the time that's all up and running, God knows what the fees are going to be. It's just it seems like a nightmare.
Yeah. Anyway, Scott, you said you wanted to add some color to the conversation. I know you've got stuff cooking as well. So
Yes, and I
Yeah,
don't think you're talking about your superior tan.
Hey man, it's Florida. You guys stay in your cold areas, whatever. It's 78 degrees today. It has actually been raining for the last week, so I haven't even got to fly. I've got a little bit of cabin fever. No, I wanted to touch on Mark's business development, 100 businesses in 100 days, that kind of stuff. And I chimed in real quick. In fact, somebody trying 100 businesses in 100 days.
Yeah.
You can pretty much walk in and say you're a business. You take Dash. We take a different approach. Instead of trying to get 100 businesses that won't participate, we try and get 5 to 10 businesses that relationship with us that we've developed. I mean, like I just posted the last, I think 2 businesses. We actually have 3. Maintenance facility in Gadsden, Alabama, that we need to add every Dash as well. I forgot to post that one, but that takes time to foster that relationship. Empty leads are just that; they're empty. When you need to concentrate on,
like, so if you've
you
got
need
the
to, you need to, yeah, you need to really concentrate and use your resources for a positive lead as opposed to an empty lead. So that was where I was chiming in with the 100 businesses in 100 days. It's just,
yeah, you'd need a good street to do it. It'd be too much for one person. I mean, that's multiple businesses per day, so 100 is big. I mean, you'd need a big team to do it. But
Scott, let me ask you this: how many total businesses during, let's say, the last 6 months have you been able to onboard for Dash?
Total businesses. Well, remember that's not our primary job, but I'm going to throw out a number between 22 and 25.
Wow.
Well, there you go. So say
freaking awesome.
25, let's say 50 a year. And that's one person / entity. What happens if you have
you got to remember that we start from zero of nothing at day one. Of course, my team started as soon as we looked like we were going to get a proposal. You guys know how I work by now. I keep going and putting your head down. And as soon as we saw a positive response on the proposal, we started reaching out to our contacts and our relationships and developing those right there. But in essence, day one, a proposal is okay. And so you have that whole, like, throw a stone into the lake and a ripple effect. For instance,
we don't like that coin.
Right now we're talking. Hey, trust me.
Huge respect,
I think I've spoke before about my distrust of that coin. As we interact with, for instance, Best Tugs. Okay, so we interact with Best Tugs, and this is an actual example right now. I'm glad we're talking about this. So I post Best Tugs. Now their average unit cost is $9,700. Okay, they're a sponsor of ours. We've brought Best Tugs in based on the whole relationship that we've talked about, providing them basically an amazing deal to support Dash. So now they accept Dash to buy a $9,700 tug. Guess what they do? They ship those tugs from Utah to China to Germany. Anyways, China, Germany, all around the world. And what do those $9,700 tugs do? They tug around props, small corporate jets, and now they post on their internet source that they give a small discount them on this deal to provide a discount to incentivize the customers to go and say, okay, $170, I'm going to go find out what Dash is. It's all about incentivizing the process. With that, it's advertising costs. They're going to advertise. Companies got to advertise. So instead of advertising, they simply post on their website that they accept Dash with a 10% off to them if they go ahead and follow through with what I've suggested, 10% off.
Hang on, I had to take the glasses off. It just got real for me.
Those glasses.
Yeah.
Can I?
Well, think about that though.
So instead of doing a print ad where people are going to actually thumb through a magazine and they go, oh, okay, and they just keep thumbing, now the person's looking for a tug. It's a positive lead because they're on their website. They're looking at other competitors' tugs, but yet they can save 10% off just by going off and finding Dash and seeing what Dash is. At this price point, the 1.2 to $2.4 million corporate and so forth like that, will know what digital currency is already. I don't want to get off on a tangent and I don't want to take over on this conversation, but I don't think Dash ends the aviation market. Of course, that's what I'm focused in. Of course, that's what we attract because we're aviation guys and we're hanging out with other aviation guys. I think the community needs to understand that when we do something in an airplane nowadays, when you push on the stick, it doesn't push on the rudder. When you push on a stick, it goes to an actuator box that has a bunch of code and developed language in there that goes back, transmits to another actuator. History that is completely, technology and software development wise, it's full and rich of that. So we have the people that are receptive to digital currencies. Not only that, but the business owners, early technology, because that's always in aviation, early technology and being an early adopter has always given you a business advantage over somebody else. Aviation industry and Dash are synonymous. Right now I'm discussing, if my phone rang of the Reno National Air Races, as long as, our proposal, proposal goes well, they see the similarities and the branding cohesion between Dash and the speed and a race. I've already presented Ryan Taylor with an amazing commercial offer. We don't have any commercials in the queue right now, so hopefully we can extend those commercial offers to try and foster the business relationship between Dash and the actual Reno Air Races. To do it this year, I mean, this isn't something that I haven't disclosed before. Prices, because they're trying to make sure that we're enticed to engage with them. Hopefully we can queue that up. But the aviation industry has really taken to the Dash jet. We're the Dash jet, we're the Dash team. I've talked about three multinational companies, two multinational companies. The other one will be marketing with them, but I don't think they have a dealer relationship and they don't take direct payments. But we're reaching out to Garmin International. Obviously, I mean, that's a huge, if we can get them to take Dash, they don't take Bitcoin at this time or anything like that. I've reached out to the core team. They've already got my email requesting a contact for business development, primarily one for Garmin is basically the drop-down box on the website. Yes, I want to buy this. Instead of Visa or MasterCard, I want to use Dash. The other one is, as we all know, I used to be a JetBlue pilot. I actually am still technically a JetBlue pilot. I'm on a long leave, and as a senior pilot, I'm allowed to do that. But JetBlue, when you're on board, JetBlue is Wi-Fi 24 hours a day. Even in the air, it's free. It's satellite, right? So if we can convert, the flight attendants are already carrying around an iPad. There's no cash on board as it is. So if we can convert JetBlue, last minute seat upgrades, buy that tequila or that, that vodka with Dash, we'll do that as well. That one I reached out requesting a business development contact specifically for scanner, which they have at the gate, but we need to make sure that they have support for that, as well as working on how we can integrate the payment system on that. That's what we're doing. If we're not in the air, which we've talked about, yeah, I play the crazy cowboy out on the ramp, but he knows that I believe in what Dash is doing. So 24 hours a day, we're trying to push into new markets. If we can take Garmin and we can show those products, as I've talked about in the past, as we work very closely and intimately with some lead projects. We develop the resources and the knowledge, and then we branch out from there.
Yeah, I think business.
Yes, sorry.
Business adoption is so key. I'm actually amazed, and I think I got to tip my imaginary hat that you've brought that many businesses aboard, because one of the biggest problems we've had is with the business adoption and having a solid POS solution. If we had better solutions, I'm sure your numbers would be much higher, as of everyone else. I would like to go back to something that Alex Werner, I believe, said last week. Joel, I'm not sure if you watched the show, but he mentioned about, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but this went viral on Facebook a few years back. Everyone was talking about that 6 degrees of separation or something. That way, for a certain number of friends, everyone's sort of linked to everyone else. And I kind of see business like that, but I also see Dash just from a user community perspective growing out. This Christmas, we were talking about giving out paper wallets and birthday cards. If you make it your mission to speak to your family members and your friends, say, like, if everyone in the community spoke to 8 people, and then we'll just have that knock-on effect, and we'll have a gradual ripple. I'm sure people speak to people about Dash anyway. I'm sure some people think you're crazy, but I'm sure since they've seen the 50% increase in the last 17 days, they probably turned around, probably like ringing your phone all the time.
So what Mark's talking about is the conversation has shifted. Well, how do I get this into US dollars? The conversation has seriously shifted from that, because, CNBC is broadcasting Bitcoin's huge gains. So the people that watch CNBC that I'm working with, people that wake up in the morning as they're doing their tie or whatever, they're drinking their cup of coffee, they're watching CNBC. So the Bitcoin and the digital currency, digital assets are coming up. So the conversation has switched in the last 2 to 3 months, maybe 2 months. The conversation has switched from what payment system can I use that converts this from Dash to US dollars immediately? Can I do 70% for cash flow and put 30% of the transaction into a wallet and or investment fund? So the conversation is changing. It's a very dynamic and fluid environment right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott may need to cut his video or something. Y'all getting his internet is not. Y'all getting choppiness?
The video feed's a bit distorted.
Yeah, it's affecting the audio too. I don't know if it'll help. But since we got him here, I'd like to ask him about his new proposal. I know he's got a new proposal going. Are you planning to do that this cycle, Scott? Or
I am. Yeah, we were just trying to focus on getting some more businesses. And I know that to follow the procedure, you need a pre-proposal. So that's why I started posting was, hey, we do have a proposal coming, but like up until I think 2 or 3 o'clock yesterday, I was still making sure that these people were squared away and instructing them for FaceTime on how to set up their wallets, so that I don't say, okay, you're accepting Dash and I walk away. I need, you're accepting Dash, and right now if somebody calls you, Mark decides that that he wants to buy a tug or get something repaired in Gadsden, Alabama, that he can call the guy up and actually do the transaction as soon as we announce that we have a company.
Is the
Or a new
proposal going to
company.
be the same as last time? It seemed like you were going to add something different. There was going to be like a road show where y'all are traveling around on the bus. Is that right?
Yeah, and so to start right off the bat is the BTC conference down here in Miami.
Mm.
That it's in restricted airspace. You know, tried to map it out and see if I can get the jet close to it. So what I'd like to do is bring the bus down. And honestly, if we need to coordinate the location for the bus, the 20x10 pop up with virtual reality. I mean, it's a big show. It would be great to go to a Bitcoin conference with the biggest, advertising, which is what we do everywhere we go. We're the biggest and loudest.
Oh, why haven't you done that yet? That would be amazing. Can you imagine this? So, like, I'm jealous already because we've got that big North American Bitcoin conference in January.
So
you should take the virtual reality machine.
Yes.
That'd be amazing.
So that's what I mean. We posted some pictures of us flying and stuff last week, and we were trying to grab content to put this virtual reality together. If you've watched my comments on Discord, I'm not happy at all with how those camera qualities came out. So we talked to Garmin. Imagine that. We talked to Garmin. We got a couple cameras from them, and we're hoping for a much better quality. We'll put together the new footage with the Dash equipment, the stuff that we had in the queue, previous branded aircraft, and that was for time constraints. So now we're putting together our virtual reality Dash. Go there, the RV's there. Of course, the trailer takes up a big signage billboard, pop up the 20x10, and we can be in the parking lot. If they don't allow us to be in the parking lot, guess what? We're going to go park on the other side of the street where we're going to be seen. And then you come in to the Bitcoin conference and you decide that you want to look around and talk about all the different currencies. Guess what? Dash has the virtual reality experience. I'll be in full crazy cowboy mode with the flight suit and the hat. Hey, do you want to go flying with me? Come on in. They put on the goggles, Dash right here in front of their face, no matter where they look, and then they fly with me.
That's
wow.
cool.
So what is the experience? So what do people actually see when they go in the machine?
You haven't been on Discord? I thought I posted the.
So the video. It's just so you can look around and.
Yeah. So you're in the jet, and last week I'm not happy with the quality, so we'll have to do it again. But last week, we just absolutely destroyed ourselves in the jet. It was tough.
No, that's going to be awesome. Whatever we got to do to make that happen, let's make it happen. That sounds excellent.
So now, sometimes because I'm always talking about this and I've noticed that I have a problem with this is I think because I talk to one person that everybody knows. So now you take that virtual reality experience and like ads or whatever, and they have the virtual reality glasses. So we take that and we have to downgrade it from what we have on site, but we can still load it onto YouTube and try and push it and advertise it and make it a viral thing where the younger generation with their virtual reality glasses for free go on YouTube. Me in a very exciting experience, but of course they have to sit through 43 seconds of what is Dash.
That sounds excellent. I love it.
And like I said, I think I've told you guys before, I recognize my job as the marketer. I have to take something shiny, sparkly, put it in front of the potential adopters, and bring them in with that. And then we utilize that shiny, sparkly, hey, look at this free video. We utilize that to introduce it to them. And even if they don't take it right then, there is a residual where they walk away 4 months, they finally sit there and go, you know what? Digital currency. And as they're looking down a list, they see that logo 24 hours a day. They see that logo, they see that digital cash, and they associate the logo with the people that they had the experience with.
Exactly. And don't forget, you're going to get a lot of attention very soon with the Gap TV show. So I don't think you was here early enough to hear me say it got the first episode's been pushed back to the 26th of this month now.
Yeah.
But I think when that comes out on TV, from the short clips that I've seen, I think that should hopefully generate a lot more interest for you, or at least should hopefully open even more doors for you. I would hope.
Shouldn't we also?
How'd you like? Hey, Mark.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, Mark, how'd you like our teaser clip? By the way, if you load it back up, it's got the final cut on it now.
Oh, fantastic! Do you know what? I didn't know whether I should mention that in the podcast or not, the video. So yeah, just for a little backstory for people watching. So Scott sent me a clip yesterday to have a look at. So it's kind of like a promo. This is a promo for an air show, right? It's just in general to show what you're all about, right?
What's going on is they're producing the Docu-series promo to start pushing out to the different networks where they follow the crazy cowboy and his jet team driving around in an RV and getting in trouble in air racing and doing typical Docu-series type of thing. That my bosses, the masternodes, would want an update. I made sure that they produced a 45-second teaser producing to present to the different networks to see who might pick it up. So I told them I want and the overall feeling of what we're doing in 45 seconds.
It's straight fire. The music's good. It gets you pumped. It gets the adrenaline going.
And that's, and so I talked to Ryan Taylor about this in London as well. Docu-series, somebody else, the company was going to be taking care of all the funds, the thing, and they were going to follow us around. Well, they were starting, as soon as we met in Reno the first time and we started filming, and this was even before the proposal, but we had already gotten into the green for the proposal. So we invited them out. We started going that route. They started talking about stuff like, oh yeah, so one of the series, Dash is crashing and it's very volatile and you have the stress. And I'm like, well, that doesn't represent my primary sponsor. Went back and forth, Dash went up. I bought the rights to everything. I own absolutely the rights. I get to say what goes in and what comes out on everything, so that I protect the Dash branding. We want it to be exciting for people, but I don't want a docu-series thinking that Dash is just freaking all over the place and I might not be able to buy jet fuel. That was the question. Can he buy jet fuel to get from Florida to Reno for the race? Once he's there, they had all these great ideas from a production company side. Development and a branding protection. I didn't like what I was hearing. So I love the team. They're amazing. They're very talented, and Mark's seen their work. They do amazing work, but I want to make sure that I control the content. So we invested our Rise and Dash and we paid for everything.
Hey, I wonder what a billboard would cost for that Miami Bitcoin conference as well. It'd be cool to have the bus and a billboard. I mean, we would be everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
I can find out.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, that's
So can we circle back to why I even chimed in? So the business development's one, the ATMs, traveling with an ATM. I just want to, we've talked about this before. We were so hyped on doing it. We are still planning on having an ATM at our second largest air show. August has been invited, and I've actually invited the entire Bit to Byte team to come down, and it's a 7-day air show. So come on down, guys. Do your STEM program down here. We'll host it. Huge air show.
Yeah, I would actually like to get August on the Free Amigos podcast. Because
I went off on a tangent. Sorry. So the ATMs will be in Florida, but as soon as you cross state lines, so driving around with an ATM and leaving it behind, which was originally in our ideas, we found out that we'd probably go to jail if we cross state lines with a money transfer machine.
Yep. You gotta have license. Yep.
Exactly. And that's actually, we started with a small project where we doubled the amount of Dash available ATMs on the planet, but we really wanted to go to an air show. leave an ATM. Well, we do the procedure of how to buy with the ATM, and then as we leave that ATM with a local business. But as soon as we cross the state of Florida's boundaries, we're illegal. So can't be doing that.
Yeah, some states allow it, I believe. I don't know. I know they all have different money. I know Colorado is really bad, and there's some states are worse than others. But I don't know how to figure out all that information. But yeah,
Yeah. I was just going to say, mentioning August. So we was talking about Bitcoin a lot last week, and everyone's talking about the Bitcoin price going back up, and we always get our perspective, but we never get the young generation's perspective. So I would love to speak to August and try and put our heads in the mindset of students now. Why did August go for Dash and not Bitcoin when it clearly the market volume at the moment shows otherwise? And what lessons can we learn from it? What are the issues and problems that his students are facing, and how can Dash help that? Getting that insight and understanding, because we was thinking from a business perspective, like, oh, let's put just the Dash ATM in the university, let's do some presentations. But there may be things that we're overlooking and perhaps new solutions. And the only way we can understand that is by speaking to them and understanding their world and their needs and their wants. And I don't think we've fully done that with August yet.
Get him on next week. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's so much potential. I mean, American universities are very different from over here. Like, we don't have the whole fraternity sort of lifestyle and, the sports style you have. But I just imagine all the different clubs that they have and meetup groups they have within. They probably have different meetup and club groups for everything you can think of. So there's so much possibilities here, and it's almost limitless. So I would love to just see what August has to say, and even just talking to amongst his peers and just seeing what they come up with, because these are the people that need the solutions. And if we can get the next generation on board and we can win them over, then the battle's already half done. If we focus on the business adoption as the big boys, we let them do the ground game, because then they can spread out and, the voice of a generation, right? So I think it's also instrumental. We need more people like August, and we need to be encouraging him and giving him as much wings as possible to spread the gospel of Dash.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've enjoyed many conversations along with August. We've talked on a very personal level. I'm very impressed with that young man. Might not too much, but on the same note, you see somebody's potential absolutely through the roof, and you just want to go down that path. I know this is the safe path that everybody is saying that you should do, but remember, the disruptors, when everybody else says you should go this way, because I see something different and goes that way.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Right, how are we doing for time, Brian?
I think we're almost out of time, I guess.
Yeah, we're like an hour, 15 minutes in.
Okay. Joel, you got anything you want to throw in? Sorry, me and Scott have been hogging the waves.
Yeah.
Sorry to leave you there.
I'm sorry.
Sort of emphasize on.
I popped in and just started rambling too much.
It's interesting stuff. It's great stuff.
Man. We wanted to know what you was up to.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, what happened with the 10x card? What I know, I'm a broker. I know I always ask, but what's going on with the Dash Aerosports 10x card? Is there any updates? Please say you've got good news.
The Dash Aerosports 10x card is always up to them and available. Right now, they're having obviously a lot of regulatory issues. I guess I'll be completely candid. Aerosports is on their right now. I think we're a like to have, not a must have, and they're dealing with a lot of must haves right now.
We gave them so much money. I don't know. They need to bump us up on the priority list.
So, hey, I don't in this fight, Brian, but when I met them, I hope by now I can be a pretty good judge of character. In business, you have to poker, you need to size them up And they knew exactly what they got from Dash and exactly what they need to do to make it right. Unlike other situations, I honestly, it's just my personal opinion, talking to them, having dinner with them, sitting down with them, and getting to know them as individuals, they're 100% first class. Hope that Dash and 10X have a wonderful future relationship. You know, they know exactly what's going on. They know what they have to do. It's just a matter of getting their ducks in a row.
I'm ready for that card, or any card. Yeah, any good card with good fees.
That card. Yeah, and on that card, our proposal still includes the Dash into the wild. You know, the proposal that's coming up, I know it says Dash Aerosports, but keep in mind that it's Dash Aerosports. It's the bus tour. It's the videos, the virtual reality. And I think the videos of Dash into the Wild, where my team is showing up at the hotel at 1 o'clock in the morning, whichever card it might be, the Dash and debit card system to pay for our team's operation. And that's filmed by a professional crew that you'll be seeing their work as soon as we release this final cut.
I like that. Yeah. Sorry, Joel, I cut you off before.
Basically, to summarize, this is just one team, one person, whatever. I know that was a little bit of an oversimplification, but imagine if we started putting one in every single country around the world, right? Start with, or a few based on region. It's not like, you know, one person can do 100 businesses, 100 days, all that kind of nonsense. Of course, it requires like long relationships and things like that. But what happens if each region has someone working on that? Then before you know it, just grows from the roots. Those trees blossom, and then there you go. That's what it takes.
One thing I think the 10X team do really well, better than anyone else, is their communication updates are amazing. Have you seen their blog updates videos? That communication manager, whoever managed that, they're so on point. And can you imagine if Dash had that? Someone just recruited just to do the blog updates?
I'm doing great. I'm actually talking to my bosses right now for Dash. So let me get off this conference call right now, and we'll discuss the developments that we can get Dash and Reno together and see what we can work out. So I appreciate you taking time out of your Friday. Gentlemen, hold on one second, Tony. Gentlemen, I have to jump on this as the COO for the Reno National Air Races. We're going to keep doing what we do. Have a great Friday. Right. You know what I'm doing. Thanks
Take
again,
care,
guys.
mate.
Peace. Have a good one.
Bye now.
Okay, bye. Well, there you go. There you go, kids. Seeing the magic happen live. Exclusively on
Who
Dash
wants pineapple and
News.
ham on theirs? Hold on.
Now that 10X marketing is excellent. I saw it on Scott's video when he was there and in the suit and everything. And yeah, that was a while back. And I noticed, man, they had their marketing person. The video was just the editing and everything. The production was top notch. Yeah, they definitely did a good job of that.
See, I just think, well, you guys would be the best judge for America on this, because certain cities are going to be more open, more to change alternative currencies, all sorts. When I was in Bristol with Ed recently, we spoke about the Bristol pound. They're quite open to alternative currencies and whatnot. So if you spoke to their Chamber of Commerce and got the business on board and made them realize this is quite special and unique, and the business owners got on board, I reckon you could make something happen. I really do. I don't know what the equivalent of that would be in America. I know, like, obviously New Hampshire's got the whole thing going on because Joel was just rocking up the Dash Storm there. But there's got to be other places that are open. Like this is why I need you guys to help me out, because I recall seeing that some states are making gold and silver sort of legal tender. Wasn't it Texas or something that they were doing they were getting their own like gold
Texas,
bank or something like that? Yeah, so obviously some places are open to it. Utah's probably open to
I think was the other one.
Yeah, so obviously some places are easier than others, but it's all about momentum. But if you can go to those places first and talk to those people, then absolutely, like, It's all about having conversation, and it's not just one approach. Like I know I was just talking about the 100 business 100 days. You need a multi-pronged approach. You need street teams. You need to use every tactic you can. And why we've got the budget and treasury system on our side, we need to utilize it for maximum impact. So it's not just looking for the heavy hitters online, just saying we'll just pay you a shed load of Dash to integrate. We need to have street teams as well, getting out there and pushing it. And up until now, it's been extremely difficult because of the limited Dash POS solutions available. That's why I'm really hopeful for the general. And I keep talking about general bytes, but I actually want to go physically see the hardware, see it working. I want them to do a video tutorial for business owners to explain how it works. So we can put that on the website, get that message out there, get it translated, push that message. Because if it only costs $599 to get it integrated, so to buy the unit, we should just buy them and give them out to businesses to integrate them, set them up for free, put it in there. Who's going to say no to a free POS solution, saying, well, this is what it typically costs, but we're going to set this up for you and get you set up? Who's going to say no to that?
Yeah, now the interesting thing to think about, right? What exactly does a business need? One thing that a lot of businesses are definitely in need of is a top-to-bottom crypto solution, meaning point of sale, accounting, and payroll, right? Not just like a one thing, because how do you then calculate everything? And it's, from what I've heard, all 36 has at least two out of three of those, if not the whole package. And so that's going to be great. Now, the other thing is, it's not, I was speaking with Paul Pui, the Airbits/Edge CEO, and he seems to think, hopefully I'm not misquoting him, but he seems to think that more than getting a crypto point of sale out there, that that's obviously good in some situations, but over time it'll have to be more of getting crypto integrated into current things, like for example Square and all the other normal point of sale things. Just getting that integration might be easier. So it might be good to work through BlockCypher and BlockCypher's grant program they have to start trying to get Dash into those things once demand is at a critical mass. So like all these like crypto point of sale systems, they're great. It seems like they're also a stepping stone, right? It's not like, oh, everyone will have these. It's like, well, enough people have these, it'll get the attention of enough people, so then the big players all add them. So that's probably what I think is going to happen.
That was an exciting update from Scott on the 10x thing. That makes me happy that they get it and they're working on it, and we hadn't heard much from them, so that's good news. I know he's working on the Aerosports card, but yeah, that's good. I just want a decent credit card with good fees,
Exactly.
to get us to the
card
next.
For America. I feel bad for you guys. You guys need cards. Please get you guys cards. And I hate Visa, MasterCard. I hate central banks. I want to blow up that central banking Death Star, but we just don't have the payless, contactless cards yet available. That's 2018, baby. Dash is going to come over and take it over like a storm. We're going intergalactic.
Yeah,
it's
the
going to be
Alt 36.
massive.
Alt 36 is involved with that master pass. And I'm guessing Evolution's going to have something. I mean, if it has banking and everything in the wallet, it seems like that somehow, yes, you will have, your Evolution wallet, which will connect to your bank account, which could somehow connect to a credit card or something. Yeah, that you could use almost anywhere. That Visa, MasterCard, I don't know who cores. I'm sure they.
Question for you: has anyone actually seen a video of the Alt 36 system working or in place? Because I've read a lot, I've seen their PDF updates, but I've not actually seen anything in action. So I've got high hopes. Have you?
I hear that they are optimistically targeting a January 1st public release, which means if things don't go perfectly smoothly, it will be later in January probably. But yeah, so it doesn't quite exist yet. So there's nothing really to show off, but as soon as it does, you best believe I'll be all over that thing, trying to set up as many businesses as possible. Maybe if it works efficiently, it might be worth a separate proposal for like a test out a few different Dash businesses or whatever. Like, I mean, get some any business in an area that has a lot of possible Dash traffic, maybe do some, hey, we're doing a pilot program. We will set up your business with this thing. We'll do all this stuff. We'll subsidize it for you if you're going to take part in this experiment to see if this thing works. Then after like the few months, it's like they can decide if they want to keep using it or not, and then just see where it goes. And of course, if they get enough traffic, for one thing, it's a good way to actually see if this works and then document it. And then if they keep using it, you get all the other businesses on it, and there you go.
Hey, do we ever have any kind of time frame on that WireX or WireX or whatever it is? What's the ETA on?
No, I think they said by the end of the year they were going to integrate
Oh.
Dash and then reissue their contactless cards, and then by some point next year they're going to look into getting to the US. Which
and what
is
are their
always
fees? Do we know their fees? Are they got crazy fees, or
they had something low before, like 1 to 2% for loads. I mean, that's not 2% is not that low, but and then during an interim period, some people were saying they were insane, and I don't know what they are now. But I do know that a few community members use them, and use them as a good, like as an exchange too, almost like just transfer fiat to crypto. So it's almost like
I just hope the new business development individual we hire is just really switched on, because a lot of these solutions that Joel's just spoken about there, he's right on the mark. However, really internal business development should be identifying these areas to build on and what areas that we're missing out on and to develop. That's their job role, to identify sectors that we're not missing out and we need to improve on. Yet we're doing it. Well, it just shows you how Dash isn't centralized, because it's us minions trying to ask those questions and solve those things. Maybe there are conversations going on behind closed doors, but this is why we need a strong business development team. And
yes, I mean, I know that they're working pretty hard. I have also been contacted by them before about when I was in my amateurish kind of way, just badgering some business on social media about, hey, Dash. And they're like, hey, quiet down. We're talking to them in private. We got this handled. So
yeah,
they're everywhere.
Probably been a while there, right?
Was it?
Yeah, we're talking about core business development here, right? Just to be clear.
Yeah, I was checking out that website that we had talked about in our meeting, which we won't mention right now. But yeah, it's some of the discounts and stuff that's coming in the pipe sometime, hopefully soon.
Hey, Brian.
Yes, Mark.
We haven't spoke about BitCart for a while, and I had a tweet from someone the other day, and I know you're a huge customer, and I always say, like, we get 15% off, sorry, et cetera, et cetera. And this other guy said that he did something else on Amazon and he manages to get 50% off.
Now you can subscribe. Yeah, you can subscribe. If you subscribe to like 5 products and you get them shipped, it's like a subscription service every month. Then it's 15% off. And then I guess he's saying on top of that, you get the BitCart. I haven't used BitCart in quite a while. I need to. I've got some purchases that I need to make. I was just kind of letting the dust settle with them, and I have seen some complaints, some issues with them on the Discord lately. So
50% discount. Yes. So okay. So if I buy 5 products in a month using Amazon Subscribe and Save service, if I buy 5 products in a month, I get an additional 15% discount. I think where he said the additional 15 is from Super Shares or Masternode. I think it's actually that's not right. It's actually 9%, I think, at the moment.
It's not all the products, but like if you get like toothpaste or whatever it is every month, if you have a product, if you got to get up to 5 products, you get 15%, and then use BitCart another 15%.
Yeah, so that's actually pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a new BitCart update to see what's going on there. Because I love 15% off Amazon. I use it all the time.
I've not heard of the subscribe and save service before, though. Is that like Amazon Prime?
It may be Amazon Prime. I've seen it. It pops up on my thing. Yeah, I'm not.
Well, dude, you're always buying stuff from Amazon.
Yeah, I need to look more into it. There's just various products. You'll see it pop up, and you got to subscribe to 5, and it's not all the different. It's not all the products that they have. It's only certain things, and yeah, you can get an extra.
I'm actually waiting
15.
to hear for an update. I'm eager to hear an update from Dash Core and
Yeah.
Bitcart on the new agreement that we're all waiting on. And I also want to hear confirmation when Bitcart service is solid again, because now that the dashnewskorea.com website is up and live, now that we've learned 25% of the Bitcart volume per month is coming from that region, mostly from South Korea. I would love to put a link on there to Bitcart on the dashnewskorea.com website, but I don't, on our new website, getting new traffic users and stuff, I don't want to put it on there and give them extra traffic until things are running smoothly again. And
I don't think. I think there's. I've still been seeing stuff in Discord, so I don't know that even with that new limiting system, I don't know. I haven't tried it. I've just seen people complaining. They may be fake people just causing trouble, but I don't know. I would like to get an update from Core. Maybe Joel could. They've had plenty of time to maybe figure something out, hopefully, and maybe we can just get some kind of.
We'll see. So, according to their 24-hour calculator, the Bitcard is 54% full. So I have seen that fluctuate over. It was more full yesterday, so it reset, and then apparently that part's still working. It just, as far as I know, there's a lot of manual work that goes into fulfilling those orders. And so obviously with the recent drama and upheaval and just traveling around conferences, doing all this kind of stuff, I'm sure that this service will remain a little inconsistent for a little while. But as for actual further updates, I've kind of reached out to a few people behind the scenes, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully the community is going to get a little bit tired over just hearing, oh my gosh, Bitcart, oh my gosh, where did Daniel Diaz go? Oh my gosh, just like, definitely, unfortunately, we started a little bit of trouble, but that's not the intention. The intention is to address something that needed to be addressed, and it was addressed. And there you go. I'm happy to stop talking about that at any moment, unless the community, unless the masternodes really want me to keep on this.
If anyone's watching this and they don't know what we're talking about, so the last update we had, there was a joint statement from Dash Core and Bitcoin, and it was published on the Dash forums. And basically, they're renegotiating a new contract, and I don't believe that contract's been finished yet. So we're actually waiting for the next statement once the new agreement's been done. They just made the statement that they're working out new terms. So we're in that transition phase, and until that statement comes out or that new contract's been signed, we don't know what to say. But the tone and the content of the joint statement sounded very promising. Both sides, they want to work together. They want the best solution for Dash and its users. So we're going to get something, it's good news. It's just we're waiting on it. And hopefully it should be next week. I hope.
And I'll try it out. I need to. I was looking for a treadmill. It's a pretty expensive purchase, so yeah, I was definitely going to hit up Bitcart. So I'll hopefully have an update next week and how their service goes.
Excellent.
Yeah. Well, with that, I think we're about due for a not being on podcast anymore.
Yeah,
it has been that whatever the word for that is.
I can't believe we made it through the whole podcast and we didn't mention Charlie Schramm.
You jinxed it, man. Now you know what come to the Three Bigos after party live on Discord in just a few minutes, where people are going to do nothing but talk about Charlie mother-loving Schramm. If that's what you want to talk about, you know the time, you know the place. All right, until next week, ladies and gentlemen and everything in between, stay dashy.
Love it.